Hey folks, Randy here with Dulin Cut Trim. So I've gotten a couple requests from you guys in the comments section asking if I would be willing to join a Facebook group that you're a part of or started or whatever. And I want to say I really appreciate you inviting me to your group. However, I'm not going to be able to join it. I don't participate in any of the, well, honestly, I don't really participate in social media at all. I'm not a part of any of the Facebook groups. I was at one point. I'm not anymore. I do have a Facebook profile, but I've got less than 40 friends on there. And then I have an Instagram profile, but I don't think I've logged in it in probably 2 years. And I have a business Instagram. But any of you that follow my business Instagram know I haven't posted on that in a couple of years. You know, when I first started my business, I was pretty active on Facebook. Not so much Instagram, but more Facebook. And my reasoning for that is in the beginning of my business, I was actually getting a decent amount of business off of social media. But at some point that kind of dried up, and I switched over to YouTube. Like I would create videos and post them on my Facebook page for my business, and then, you know, whatever. But I don't engage in the lawn care community on Facebook, and I don't on Instagram either. And there's a couple reasons for it. Not in any particular order, but one is there was a lot of poor advice being given, and it was difficult to kind of sift through that and see what was good and what wasn't. You know, the Facebook groups were very helpful to me when I first started, but one of the problems I ran into on those groups was, you know, some of the advice was bad, and I didn't always know what was good and what was bad. And some of the advice, it was just like, it was, people were giving responses and providing information that I didn't need. You know, like when someone's, you know, if I post, oh, somebody won't pay me, what do I do about it? And somebody responds with, oh, round up balloons. Well, that's not helpful. It's not helpful at all. You know, and like, man, do you actually do that, or are you just talking trash? Because if you do that, wow. You know, and then like there was a lot of bullying that would go on there. I'm not going to say anybody's names, but like there was one guy in particular that like I knew who this guy was, even though I'd never met him or interacted with him on Facebook, because he was constantly being bullied by people on the various pages. And I don't like that. I'm not about that. That's childish behavior, and it's really maddening when adults engage in that. And then so there was that. And then, you know, like Instagram, honestly, I never got into it. As far as I could tell, being a lawn care channel on Instagram was only to attract other lawn guys. I know some people have done really well on Instagram. Blake with B&B Lawn Care, from what I understand, he got a lot of business off of Instagram. That's good for him. I don't know how he did it. I wasn't able to do that. So I don't, you know, and I didn't really care at the beginning. I didn't really care too much if I got, you know, a lot of followers that were other lawn care guys on, you know, on Instagram. It didn't matter to me. And now it just doesn't matter to me at all. But Instagram, like, I'm kind of glad I haven't gotten engaged in the Instagram on lawn care and Instagram, because it sounds to me like a lot of the nonsense that went down, the YouTube drama with the lawn care channels, it sounds like a lot of the nonsense happened on Instagram, which just is so just absurd and silly to me. And so I'm glad that I wasn't on there to be a part of the ridiculousness that apparently was going on there, you know. And honestly, I never got Instagram. Like, it's just not, like, I kind of understood Facebook, but Instagram was just not something that just, it never appealed to me. I never I never felt like I got it, so I just never engaged in it. But the other issue, the other reason I don't really engage in those things is because, you know, at one point I was very addicted to Facebook. None of the other ones, like I've never really cared about Instagram one way or the other, and Snapchat just was a complete waste of time to me, so I never bothered with that. And I don't know what other one. Oh, Twitter. I just always seemed kind of silly to me. I never got into it. So I'm not even on those other ones. But I was on Facebook a lot, and I realized it was getting to be a little ridiculous, because I would wake up first thing in the morning, and the first thing I did was check my notifications on Facebook. Like, that was the first thing I did. And I was like, man, really, the first thing I do in the morning is check Facebook? Like, I don't even read my Bible first. I haven't even had my first cup of coffee. Literally, the first thing I do is look on Facebook. And I was like, that's not good. That's not healthy. And so, I mean, it took me a long time, but eventually I am off it. I mean, I do have an account, but I don't engage in it, because, you know, I prefer to be in the present, because honestly, this is not lawn care related, so I apologize. It's off topic, guys. But you know, when I go out to restaurants, which is so rare, but when I do, when I look and I see a table and there's 4 people sitting around a table and they've all got their phones out, like, that's sad to me. Like, and I don't mean like, oh, that's sad. Oh. I mean, like, seriously, it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing that's happening when people who love and care for each other enough that they're at a meal, I mean, like, we're talking like family, are getting together, and they would rather be on their phone than engage with the person directly in front of them. That whenever there's a lull in the conversation, instead of taking the opportunity to come up with something new, you pull up your phone and look at it. Like, that's a sad state of affairs to me, man. You know, like, when I look around and, like, people, how many times have you almost hit somebody because they were walking across a walkway, they were staring at their phone, they weren't looking where they were going. You know, like, social media, it's just too much. And, you know, people are, like, afraid. Like, it cracks me up, man, because people are like, oh, I'm afraid, like, if I'm not checking it, something's gonna happen, and I'm gonna miss it. Miss what? You weren't there. You weren't there. You didn't you did miss it. If you experienced it on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you did miss it. Somebody else experienced it, took a picture, and showed it to you. You know, it just cracks me up. You know, actually, I know why Instagram, I never got it. So hopefully my grandparents don't watch this video. So, you know what Instagram is to me? Instagram is, I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but, like, when my grandparents would go on a trip, this was before digital cameras, they would stock up on film, and they would take pictures of where they would go. And they were great pictures. It was very cool. They were nice. I mean, because they went to some pretty cool places, you know, around the world. And so, you know, it was neat seeing this stuff. But, you know, to me, Instagram is the digital version of sitting at the kitchen table with your grandparents with a stack of photos this thick and going through all of them. Like, that's what Instagram is to me, and I just don't understand why you'd want to do that all day, every day. But I honestly do think it's a problem how much time people spend on social media, and so I try and limit it for myself as much as humanly possible. I think I might be on Facebook maybe once every couple weeks at this point. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Hope it's helpful to you, but no, I won't be joining any of the Facebook groups or engaging in any of the nonsense on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or whatever else. So I gotta go in the store. I just wanted to talk about that. So it's Randy with Dulin Cut Trim. Have a good one.